A long, long time ago, around 60 million years ago, before humans walked the Earth, this planet was ruled by giants. Giants that we now call dinosaurs. These massive creatures roamed the Earth for over 180 million years. Welcome back to another National TV video. Today we're diving into the past to uncover the world of these majestic beasts. Scientists have discovered more than 900 fossils linked to various species of dinosaurs. At the peak of the Jurassic period, it's estimated that over 400 billion dinosaurs once roamed Earth. That's over 40 core dinosaurs. When we talk about species that lived and died before humans, their remains, their structure, or anything that indicates their presence is called a fossil. The first fossil was discovered in Norway by workers drilling in the Snorre oil field. This fossil was buried 2,250 meters deep beneath the seabed. After millions of years, it becomes challenging for fossils to retain their original form. In most cases, fossils turn into oil, which we process and use as fuel. However, sometimes we find bits and pieces of their bones. If we're lucky, we may even find an entire skeleton. When we search for dinosaurs on Google, we see a long list of species. These species are linked to fossils we found in different places. By piecing together these fragments and examining their footprints, scientists have made educated guesses about how these creatures looked, how they walked, and what they ate. But we've never found a fossil in its original form, until now. In 2011, a man named Sean Funk was operating an excavator in a mine in Canada. This 200-foot deep excavation was being done for the Suncor Millennium Mine in the Alberta province. It was around 2:30 p.m., and the excavation was progressing smoothly. The soil was soft, so the excavator didn't need much force. But then something strange happened. As Sean pushed down on the soil, he felt resistance, and upon closer inspection, he saw a peculiar pattern buried in the ground. Circles surrounded by dark brown clay. Like anyone would, Sean stopped to take a closer look. He called his supervisor, and soon the whole team gathered around the strange discovery. The moment of truth came when Dr. Donald Henderson from the Royal Tyrrell Museum arrived on site. Dr. Henderson, who had years of experience studying prehistoric fossils, immediately recognized the importance of this find. At first, he assumed it might be the fossil of a plesiosaurus, a creature whose fossils had already been found in the Alberta region. But he had no idea that this fossil would change his life forever. Around 80 million years ago, the area where this fossil was found was submerged under the ocean. The plesiosaurus lived here and died, sinking to the ocean floor, hence the large number of plesiosaurus fossils discovered in the region. But was this fossil another plesiosaurus, or was it something entirely different? To find out, they had to carefully remove the fossil. This wasn't an easy task. Excavation experts were brought in, and they began the delicate process of uncovering the fossil. With extreme caution, they removed the soil surrounding the fossil. Then, they carefully began to extract it from the ground. Normally, an electric jackhammer would be used to break apart rock, but that could easily damage the fossil. So the experts decided to use hydrovasing technology, a method that uses high-pressure water jets to cut through the rock, while an industrial-grade vacuum removes the debris. Thanks to this careful technique, the fossil was successfully separated from the ground. It was then time to load the fossil onto a truck for transport. Experts were confident they could lift it with a crane, but they were also worried about the possibility of damage during the process. And unfortunately, their fears came true. As the crane applied pressure to lift the fossil, it cracked open. The entire team was stunned. On one hand, the Royal Tyrrell Museum team was devastated by the damage. On the other hand, the fossil had still been preserved well enough to offer a chance for further study. Although it looked like a rock, the core of the fossil was fragile and couldn't withstand the pressure. However, not all hope was lost. The fossil, though cracked, was still mostly intact. Its pieces were carefully packed and sent to the Royal Tyrrell Museum for further study. At the museum, the team began the challenging task of separating the fossil from the surrounding rock. After 5 years and 7,000 man-hours of careful work, the team finally uncovered the fossil's true nature. To their astonishment, it wasn't a plesiosaurus after all. It was a dinosaur fossil, one of the best preserved specimens ever found. The most incredible part? The dinosaur's skin. it was still intact. This was the first dinosaur ever found in such a well-preserved condition. Most dinosaur fossils we've found in the past are incomplete, just bones, pieced together painstakingly in museums. But this fossil was different. It had skin, a full-body armored jacket, and a reddish-brown color that's never been seen before. This 3.5-ton dinosaur lived over 110 million years ago. It was a herbivore, and the plant matter preserved in its stomach proves it was eating right before it died. This dinosaur roamed the Earth during the Jurassic Age when reptiles ruled. But after their extinction, new creatures began to dominate the skies, oceans, and land, including predators like the T-Rex. Around 65 million years ago, a massive meteoroid 10 times larger than Dubai struck Earth. The resulting destruction was unimaginable. Scientists believe this event marked the end of the dinosaurs. However, experts are hopeful that many more fossils like this one are still hidden in the mountains or beneath the soil. We can only imagine what other ancient secrets are waiting to be uncovered. Hope you enjoyed this National TV video. If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your comments mean the world to us. We'll meet you again in another mind-blowing video.